Hello. On May 7th, I had my 10th PET scan, and as expected, my stage 4 terminal cancer has returned. You know, death has never seemed closer. You know, I had 15 months of really a good time, a great year. 15 months since my last chemotherapy treatment. So I'm glad I did that. But it looks like I won't have any further treatment. And so I have developed a lot of thoughts about dying. And I wonder if other people have these same thoughts. And I'd like to share some of them with you. Now, of course, I've had thoughts about the physical changes and emotional issues and spiritual and social issues. But these thoughts that enter my stream of consciousness, they're something more. And they come and go. And sometimes even random. But they're real. Let me share a few. People will come up to me now, because right now I feel pretty good. And they'll say, "Wow, David, you look great. You just look wonderful." And I smile and I give a nice, well, thank you. I'm feeling good. But inside, I'm thinking, hey, there's a dying man here. Come on, you don't get it. And, I'm nice, and I don't put it that way. Whoever coined that word silent killer, well, they were spot on. I don't have a clue what cancer feels like. And I wonder if other people feel that way. I've had all kinds of feelings about the side effects of chemotherapy and the after effects of chemotherapy. I know what that feels like, and it doesn't feel good. But I don't know what cancer feels like. I take 3 15 milligram morphine tablets every day, but that's for a compound fracture in my back. And so maybe when I don't look so great, I guess maybe then I might know what cancer feels like. But I don't know. And I think about that all the time. And then people come up to me and they talk about future events. Lately, "Hey, David, can't wait to see Chase Daniel throw passes for the Kansas City Chiefs." Chase Daniel, he's a Mizzou star, and we love him. But the Kansas City Chiefs season starts, I think, in September, the real games, and it goes on for nearly a year. I don't think I'm going to be around. And they ask the same thing about our basketball team. They know I love my Tigers. "Hey, David, we're going to have a good basketball team this year?" And of course I say, "Sure, it's going to be wonderful." And I'm thinking, I probably won't even see a game. And that gets to you. And when my daughter, Christina, who's got a new job, and she's the top salesperson in her group, and she won a trip to Minneapolis for 2, full expenses paid, 4 days, to see the Vikings play the Cleveland Browns in the National Football League. And she asked me to go with her. I don't know. I don't know that I'll make that game. I didn't tell her that, of course. I answered very positive, and I hope I do. My wife and I were walking the dog the other night, Chewy, to do his duties. And there loomed up in the sky what they call a supermoon that appears on the first day of summer. It was large and it was beautiful. And I began to think about it. I think, my gosh, this is the last supermoon that I will ever see. Because it doesn't show up again this close to the earth for more than a year. And I let my mind linger looking at the moon, and my eyes shifted to the north where Saturn was, and then to the south, and to the north was Venus, and to the south was Saturn. And then I even allowed myself to imagine, you know, the whole cosmos. Even imagine what the stars look like at the South Pole, because they're different. And I wonder whether I'll ever be a part of that cosmos. Whether I'll be born or reborn into it. God, who knows? But I think about it. And then people, you know, say to me, David, how come you're driving so slow these days? I was on the interstate, I-70 recently, and I was driving 70 miles an hour. I mean, normally I'm sorry, 78, or like my wife, 80. But I slowed down. I'm not in a hurry. I don't want to be in a hurry. I want to see the flowers. I want to see people. I want to see the stars. Time may not slow down, but I want to slow everything else down and take it in. Even rain and thunderstorms. They're all beautiful. And then, you know, I wonder, will I want to die as that time comes closer? I think about that end stage. You know, what will it be like? Will I want to die? Will I have a catheter in my penis and a shit in my pants? And when will I stop eating and drinking? And what will that look like to me and to others? I think about those things. That one's not so pleasant. And then, you know, the other day my wife, Debbie, said, I was loading my bike on my car. I was taking it down to the Katy Trail here in Columbia, Missouri, long trail. Be careful, David, be careful. I thought, is she kidding? I'd much rather die on my bicycle on the Katy Trail than on that deathbed. Anytime. I want to live life to the fullest, and I am committed to that. And I'm going to do it. And I think about that, about doing it. And then thoughts about suicide. I gave in, and I go to a counselor now, and she said she'd never encountered a client who hadn't at least thought once about, you know, ending their life. And yes, I have to admit that includes me. My father committed suicide, and I know the statistics. That makes me 5 times more likely to do it. The problem is I don't know how to do it. You know, I can't stand weapons, and I don't have a clue what drugs you would use. And I'm not about to crash my car because I don't want to hurt others. And high places make me nervous. I'm not going to be a jumper. So I got, you know, some big problems about ending life. Now my dad knew what he was doing. He drank 2/5 of vodka. He was an alcoholic. He knew what the effect would be. Well, I haven't had a drink for 29 years. 29. And I'm not about to start now. So I doubt if I'll think much about suicide. But I think about it. And then finally, I wonder how long I'm going to be remembered. You know? Eventually, I'm not even going to be remembered at all, whether I even existed or not. But for a time, people are going to remember me, and I'm kind of curious, you know, what will stimulate certain memories about me. That sounds a little self-serving, but I shamelessly admit it. I would be real curious to come back and see what they say, and what they remember. Well, I'm not so sure when death is going to come, but I know it will, and it's so much closer. I'm not going to have any further treatments, as I said earlier. But I do hope to see that first kickoff of the Tiger football team. It's not that far away, and we've got a great team. Go Tigers! Thank you.